Hi everyone, welcome to this video. This is Tamur. So this is a bit of a special video. I used to have a course on Udemy, which is AI in artificial intelligence for absolute beginners. So I've decided to take it off Udemy and make it freely available on YouTube. Okay, so this is basically just a quick introduction to this course. Was my first course which I ever made for Udemy, and it goes over the basics of artificial intelligence, machine learning, all the concepts of how machine learning works, and a few demos also using some freely available services and how you can use that. So I wanted to make it freely available because AI is becoming more and more popular, and I see that a lot of people don't have those basic skills when it comes to artificial intelligence. So I've decided to like take it off and put it here on YouTube, which you can use it. Like I said, this is my very first course, so I wasn't that good with audio and video and all that. So forgive me if it seems a little bit amateurish. I'm apologies for that. But this is like freely available if you want to use it. And let me know if you found it useful or anything. So I'll just leave you to it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this course. And like I said, it's going to teach you artificial intelligence, all the fundamentals of artificial intelligence, along with some actual practical examples of how it works. So good luck, and I hope you enjoy this. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are. Thank you for enrolling into this short course, Artificial Intelligence AI for the regular IT guy, or as I'd like to call it, how to understand AI without going crazy. Now, I know the name can sound a bit strange to people. So what do I mean by this course? What was the purpose of this course? So the point of this course is, guys, I know AI can be an intimidating subject to the average IT person. Maybe you're an IT manager, maybe you're a network manager, a database administrator, a cybersecurity guy. And you've heard a lot of fuss about artificial intelligence, machine learning, how it's going to change the world, how it's growing exponentially. And you want to understand how the AI is, what AI works about, and how it functions. And what happens is AI can be a very intimidating subject sometimes. So the whole point of this course is to demystify about artificial intelligence and machine learning, and to not make it a niche subject, something which is only accessible to a select few people. So I want to make AI machine learning accessible to everyone and to remove some of the complexity behind it. So hopefully, after this course, you will be able to understand what AI is, what machine learning is, and how to apply it yourselves. So this slide is my favorite slide, definitely, because it's all about me. So no, I'm just kidding. I don't like talking about myself, but I want to make sure you understand that you are in safe hands and I know what I'm talking about. My name is Taimur Lal. I have over 2 decades of experience in IT, information security. Okay. And I'm a published writer. I've written in countless magazines, publications, security journals. I've spoken on locally and internationally on a multiple of events, conferences, CIO master classes to the C-level suite. And currently, what my focus is on cloud security and AI machine learning. And I've always loved one thing, which is I like to take out very complex subjects and distill it, demystify it, and present it to the audience in a way which they can understand, and they can apply it into their lives. So the whole point of this slide is to make sure we can understand you're in safe hands. I know what I'm talking about, and hopefully I will succeed in what I'm intending to do with this small course. So now that we have this, what is this course about, guys? Like, what are we going to discuss? How it's going to be structured? So basically, what I like to call this course, this section is, did you just make a big mistake when you enrolled into the course? Hopefully, no. But I'm going to take away some of your concerns when you have. So who's this course for? This course is for regular IT people. I mean, I'm assuming you have a little bit of knowledge about IT. You know how you have an internet connection. You know how to surf the internet. You know how to listen to a course. That's it. That's all you need. You don't need to have very complex level of IT understanding to understand and appreciate this course. This is for anybody interested in artificial intelligence and machine learning. You want to know what this technology is, how you can apply it, how you can actually make solutions based on this. And anybody thinking of pursuing a career in AI and they don't know how to go about it, like, because simply put, the subject is too complex for them. So during the course, you will do what things are you going to learn? And once this course is finished, what will you know? You will know how AI machine learning works, the theoretical concepts of it. And one thing I do not like is I don't like death by PowerPoint, death by slides. I don't want to bore you to death with just theoretical concepts. So what are you going to do? You're going to actually create your own machine learning model without writing a single line of code. That is my promise to you. You will do that after this. And you will deploy at least 2 to 3 services in AI, in AWS, without without writing a single line of code. So I know that sounds too good to be true, but we're going to see how that happens. And what do you need for this course? Like, what are the prerequisites? You need like internet connection, an AWS free tier account. You don't need to have a PhD in mathematics. You don't need to have like a Python programming level experience, hardcore programmer, something like that. No, nothing like that. These are the only things you need. So I hope I made you interested and like what this course is about. So let's get started, guys. I'm very excited for this, and I will see you in the next section. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this section, which is Understanding Artificial Intelligence, a brief overview of the AI revolution. So the purpose of this section, guys, is to give you a context about AI, about what AI is and what it isn't, and basically how we reached here to this point in time of AI development. Now, you may not believe it, but AI has been around for several decades, going all the way back to the 1950s. So keeping that in mind, why do you think only now we are seeing so much huge hype about the concept of AI? Why are we seeing so many AI driven products and services? What has changed in recent times to make AI suddenly so relevant and everywhere? You're going to say you're seeing everywhere. You're seeing all sorts of job postings. You're seeing all sorts of companies rushing to adopt AI and machine learning into their software and products. So what has changed recently to make AI so relevant nowadays? That's the whole point of this section. So first of all, let's get started. First of all, what is AI, guys? I mean, what do people think of when AI is mentioned? If you stop the average guy on the street and you ask him, okay, hey man, what do you think? What is artificial intelligence? What do you think that guy is going to think about? So let's take a look. So first of all, yeah, a lot of times the things, the terms we talk about and the terms we know, they come in through pop culture, you know, movies, books, what you see on YouTube, what we see on TV. So to the average layman, artificial intelligence means machines taking over, right? Like in the movie Terminator 2. I mean, if you remember, it's one of my favorite movies from my childhood. Basically, a supercomputer called Skynet. It becomes self-aware, right? And it tries to exterminate all humans, and it creates these machines called Terminators to exterminate humanity. So that is like what you call. A lot of people think that's what AI is. Or if you want to go something more recent, like the show called Westworld, what happens in there that humans create these realistic robots who are basically slaves, and these robots slowly they start waking up and realizing that they are slaves, and they start fighting back. Or if you're old like me, you might remember a movie called 2001: A Space Odyssey. It's like a masterpiece by Stanley Kubrick, and in that there's a computer called HAL that basically starts becoming malicious, and it starts what do you call, not obeying the orders of its humans around him. It's a very famous movie. So the reason I took these three movies, and all of these are from different time periods. One is from the 90s, one is from recent time, one is from the 1970s or 60s, I believe. So guys, what is the point? The point is to show you artificial intelligence has always fascinated people. It's always fascinated. People have been fascinated by this from all time periods. The concept of a thinking machine, that is something which is very prevalent throughout pop culture. So, and when you talk about AI, mostly people think is machines taking over from humans, which is a scary thought. I agree. The concept of machines taking over slowly, the things which humans do, it's a scary thought. But that's not what AI is. So let's go back to the beginning. Who coined this term? AI. What is AI and who coined this term? So the father of modern artificial intelligence is usually people refer to John McCarthy, who coined the term in 1956. And he referred to it as the science and engineering of making intelligent machines. And that is I want you to focus on the last part, intelligent machine. So what do you think an intelligent machine is, guys? I mean, if you go back several decades, people would have thought a calculator is an intelligent machine. They were thought it was something like magic. You're just putting and it's calculating, doing all this calculation by itself. We know that's not the case, right? A calculator just has hard-coded instructions or programs built inside it. It expects a specific input and it gives you a specific output. There's not much intelligence there. So when we keeping that in mind, now what is AI? AI is basically the science of computers producing results without being programmed to do so. You don't explicitly program the computer system to do anything. Instead, what it does is it has those intelligent algorithms by which it slowly starts learning by itself. And then what happens is it can actually recognize speech, it can recognize faces, it can recognize pictures, it can make predictions, it can make intelligent decisions, and it can mimic human judgment to a high degree of accuracy. That is basically what we refer to when we say artificial intelligence. So I hope you're now able to understand the difference between your normal programs, which are basically bound by their programs in which which have been made. And artificial intelligence, AI, what you do is you don't explicitly program it to do anything. You give it a specific set of input, and then you let it learn by itself. How it does it, we'll see later on. But I hope you understand now what the difference is. Now, AI has a very rich history going back, like I told you, several decades. And I put it in the resources section. I don't want you to bore you by giving you specific dates and everything. So you can take a look at it by itself. It's a very interesting. It shows you different milestones which have happened. So I hope you understand, guys, what we were talking about. And let's now move to the next section. Welcome to this section. So now that we've understood what AI is and how it came about, what was its basic history, let's go into details on just how big of a deal AI is. Like, why is it so important, AI? Because it's very important for you guys to understand AI is not just a fad. It's not like a trend which is going to, it's something which becomes very popular and just fades away. No. AI is going to transform almost every aspect of a personal and professional lives. And I don't say that lightly. I'm not just being overly dramatic. And I'm going to show you why it's so important. To fully grasp you, let me set you some context. So far in human history, we've had around, I would say, 3 major industrial revolutions. And by industrial revolution, what we mean is like something which came about, which brought about a huge change at the social level, be it businesses, jobs, how cities were, how people worked, how the economy was thriving. So let's look at the first one, the Industrial Revolution. Now, in Industrial Revolution, now believe it or not, there was a time when people used to primarily work in farms, and your income was based on how much work you put in, how much manual labor you put in. It was based on that, and you might take some help with animals with your labor, but that was pretty much how it was. The farms were the main source of income and how people used to work. What happened a few centuries back is that automation started coming in, steam power, electrical powered machinery. They came in, and I cannot overstate to you the impact of what it was, because now you had mass production happening in factories on assembly lines. It was something which never happened before in human history. So what happened? Jobs started moving to the factories, and people started moving to the cities where these jobs were. And what happened? The cities started thriving, right? The economy started going up. Jobs started booming, and this pretty much ushered in the modern era, and people started moving to the cities. So I just combined the first and second industrial revolution, because the first one was based on steam, water power, the other one was electrical, but the concept remained the same. So these were the first and second industrial revolution, which changed pretty much how humans used to work. The second one was the digital revolution. Now this should be easy because we are living it right now, guys. What was the digital revolution? We moved from mechanical to digital. What was this revolution? It was computers, digitization, the internet, smartphones. They came and they changed businesses and people's lives forever. There's a reason right now you're not using an analog phone, those old analog phones you see in museums or on the internet. You're using digital phones. And because of the digital revolution, that is the reason you're probably watching this on your home personal PC or on your smartphone or on your tablet through a high-speed internet. That is the reason that is all the benefits of the digital revolution. So now I think you can understand where I'm going with this. I've set the stage. Now, why AI is so important. So now we are coming. So this is the fourth revolution, which is we are right in the middle of it. It's starting. And AI is a big part of the industrial revolution, which is happening. It is a continuation of the digital revolution. And basically it's building upon it and it's enhancing it. So what has happened is now AI is there. And what seemed to be science fiction a few decades ago is now becoming reality. We are seeing robotics. We are seeing AI in their everyday lives, like Siri, Alexa, which is helping us make better decisions. It's improving the quality of our lives, right? And it's going to change our lives, hopefully for the better. But it has already started disrupting job markets. It has started eliminating jobs which don't require a high level of human interaction. And new jobs are being created as businesses start looking at their model and see, okay, this is where you can plug in AI and machine learning. So this is, I hope you understand why now AI is so important, why, how it's going to be and how it's going to revolutionize how people work and people will live. I've added a link in the resource section, guys, so you can get more information on the fourth revolution, because believe it or not, it's not just AI. There are other aspects to it, and it's very fascinating. It's gonna, like, people, all the governments are interested in it, and they're looking at how to manage it. What are the ethics of it? It's like, this is a topic which we can have a lecture, we can have a course just dedicated on that. So I hope you now understood why the AI is so important. So now we've understood that. Now, I mean, you know the importance of AI, but why has it become so common suddenly? I mean, what has happened in recent years, which we are seeing such a huge surge in AI-based products and services? Yeah, you're seeing AI everywhere, right? Job postings, companies putting it, governments getting interested in, because the concept of AI has existed since the 50s. We've seen it, but nothing substantial happened. And why was that? Well, it was mainly because of three reasons, three deficiencies. There were lack of computing power, lack of data, and lack of talent. So if we look at this like this, and these are the three things which have gone away now and which have like basically become available to a large extent. And that is the reason why there've been such a huge surge in AI-based services. Let's look at the first one. Why computing power? Now, what has happened is the main thing is cloud computing. Now, AI technically it existed before the cloud, right? Artificial intelligence was there since the 50s. But recently the cloud was really the catalyst for AI adoption to accelerate. Why? Well, because AI needs a tremendous amount of processing power. So, and what happened with the cloud, you can spin up VMs with CPU, memory, disk, and you can basically provision as powerful a VM as you want. So now you have those compute on demand services which are available with the big cloud providers. Additionally, the big providers like AWS, Azure, GCP, they even have managed services of AI, which take away a lot of the complexity for AI services, and they remove the barrier for entry also for newcomers. So it's very easy to now get involved in AI, which was simply not possible before. The second is data, guys. Now, data cloud needs data and lots of it. Why? Because the more data you feed an AI model, the more accurately it can make predictions and decisions. And by data, I want to be clear. I don't mean data just records, but data means voice, images, video, geographical locations, smartphone data, and so on. And this was simply not possible before. It wasn't possible to store this much data, either because of the cost or the storage itself was limited. Now with big data and the reduced cost of storage, this challenge has gone away. And lastly, but not least, was the human element, which was investment. Governments were not seeing the return of value of or investing in AI, but that has changed dramatically. Governments have now seen the potential and they are investing heavily into the future AI. And businesses, startups are looking how to change their working models to accommodate AI in the future. We have universities, educational institutions offering dedicated master's level programs in AI. This course which you're handling right now, this is simply not something unheard of quite a while back, because nobody would have been interested in AI. It was simply not that popular, but all of this has gone away. So that's why it's become so popular in recent times. And okay, so now we've understood the impact of AI and why it's become so popular. So how are you using AI, guys, in every day? If you can just think of a few services you're using. So let's take a look. Netflix. I think everybody has Netflix, right, guys? Your personalization, which happens, for movie recommendations. Users as you watch movies and Netflix understands what types of movies you like, it starts recommending that's all machine learning. It's looking at the movies you like and similar movies which other people are watching. And based on that, its AI and machine learning based model recommends movies to you so that you can keep getting interested. I think anybody who has an iPhone recognizes Siri, right? What does Siri do? It uses speech synthesis, speech recognition, like natural language processing. It understands what you're saying, and to a high degree of accuracy, it's able to provide to you what you want, and it's able to connect, right? Google, I think everybody should know this, right? Google search. As you're typing, you can see Google filling in the blank. It's already understanding what you're trying to look for. With a high degree of accuracy, it's able to predict. The AI is built into the Google search algorithms. Similarly, with Google Maps, you might have seen Google Maps, right? What does it do? Using Google Maps, it's able to estimate where you're headed and helps you navigate without any command, right? It's able to see traffic patterns and everything. Twitter, you might have seen the timeline prioritization. It has changed. Instead of just seeing the topmost tweet, it actually looks at what you've been doing, what your interests are, what are the relevant tweets you might be interested in. And based on that, it prioritizes your tweets and shows it to you, right? Which are the tweets you might be most interested in. Similarly, flagging of hate speech, guys. I mean, things which are not acceptable in a modern society. You can't have a guy just manually going through millions and millions of tweets, right? So actually, its model goes through it and it flags which tweets are comprising of hate speech and flags it. And last, Facebook. I think Facebook everybody is using, right? Facebook, through facial recognition, you tag your contacts through facial recognition. It's able to understand which are the pictures on which your contacts are showing up, and it's able to sift through millions and millions of pictures and show it to you. So these are just a few of them, everyday implications which you're using AI in. So I hope that it contextualizes and it shows how common AI has become and how ubiquitous it is becoming. I mean, you're using it without even thinking about it. Okay, guys, thanks. I hope you understood now whatever we were trying to accomplish here. So let's move on to the new section. Thank you. So guys, now that we've understood AI and its concepts and impact, let's have a quick demo with Vision API, which is available from Google and which gives you the ability to analyze images using AI and gets all sorts of insights from it. It can tell you, looking at images, it can tell you what objects are there, what emotions are on the people's faces, what text is present in the image, etc. It's extremely powerful. I mean, you can even detect images and classify them into millions of categories, which are already predefined with Google. So people are using it for detecting text and images for OCR. It lets you process documents even if you are like in a business. Say if you are an e-commerce business and you're accepting images, you can use its functionality to find out if any images have adult content, violent, hate images. It's an extremely powerful tool. So let's take a look, guys. So in case you're wondering what the screen is and why am I like using two of me, it's simple. I put in two images of myself, one with a handwritten note and one with a printed one. So let's see to Google Vision and see how much images, how much data Google can extract out of it with the artificial intelligence. So please visit the page. It's there in the resources section. Just click on it. So guys, this is the screen I was telling you about. This is Google Vision API. So it's easily, it's cloud.google.com/vision. Like I told you, it has a Vision API, so which you can use, and you can just, you don't need to do any programming, anything. You can just drag your image here and see what sort of data it can be extracted from it. So let's look at the handwritten image I put there. Let's open it from there, guys. So I have to click on the capture. So this is pretty interesting, guys. Look, so it took my expression saying possible, and possibly I'm happy. I guess I am smiling a little bit there. But you can see it can actually, with a 98% confidence, it's saying, nice. Okay, what are the objects? There's a person definitely there, look, and shirts and everything. No? Labels. So handwriting, sleeve, gesture, you can see all of that it detected. What's the text? Ah, look. So it didn't detect the A. I is awesome. Okay. So that much it was able to detect. What are the properties? Look, the colors and everything. That's amazing. Safe search detects whether, like, thankfully there's no, what do you call, adult image in this picture. Thank God for that. So you can see how much it was able to detect just for this simple picture, from the face, emotions, objects, labels, text, properties, safe search. Okay. So let's do one thing, guys. Let's look at that, the one where I'm holding the printed picture. Okay. So guys, this is the second one, the one where I have the printed, what do you call, document in my hand. I just wanted to see that you to show the difference. So, okay, again, I guess I'm happy in both pictures, which is nice. Okay, what are the objects now? Person. Interestingly enough, it didn't look the, what do you call, the shirt and all that, right? Labels. Okay. Jersey, sports uniform. Okay, it detect my beard also. I like that. Oh, sorry. Okay, text. Look at that. Oh, it's now detected properly. AI has awesome learned how to use it, because I guess it was more, my writing was not legible. But I like that now my t-shirt says London. If you can see here, it was even able to detect that. That's pretty amazing. You can see that here, right? Properties. Okay, the dominant colors and all that it's detecting, and safe search. Again, thankfully, there's no adult content there or any violence or racial image. So you can see just how much image it's able to extract from emotions, objects, and I deliberately took two pictures, one with printed, one with handwritten. But I really like the fact that it was even able to detect this thing, which I was not ready for. What it says London, only the DON is visible, and it was able to detect that also. So you see, guys, I just wanted to give you a quick and fast demo of just how powerful AI has become and how much image it's able to detect. I want you to do one thing. I want you to take a few pictures and put it yourself there. Just play around with it, see how much images. Take any picture. It doesn't store it, so you don't have to worry about that much about privacy or anything. But just see how much information it can extract from any of your sample pictures. Okay. Thank you, guys. I'll see you in the next section. So finally, we've reached the end of this section, and I really hope you enjoyed learning about what AI is, its background, and also how big of an impact it's having in our everyday lives. Now, we learned about the reality of AI, and we really distinguish it from the science fiction version, which is unfortunately present in some people's minds. And we also understood why AI is suddenly everywhere nowadays. Why is that? what are the factors that have contributed to it. And lastly, we did a quick and dirty demo of Google Vision API, which uses image recognition to like really amazing effect. And this API is available to anyone who wants to use it. I would definitely encourage all of you to experiment with it, see the different results that come up with objects, text, expressions. Try uploading something with handwriting, try uploading something which printed, to really get a feel for how accessible AI has become in our day and age and how intelligent it is. So now that you have a solid foundation, it's now time to do a deep dive into how AI works and what are the key concepts. And this is required, guys, before we start building our own AI services. So that this is definitely the upcoming module is definitely the most important one. So I will see you in the next section. Hi, everyone. Thank you. Welcome to this section in which we will discuss the details about how AI works and what machine learning is. And this is very important, guys. We will discuss in detail the different types of machine learning models, how they work, and what model works for each situation. The importance of this model is that once we have this foundation in place, we can start building our own models. So that's why this is the most important section of this course. And I would definitely need your full attention here, please. So simply put, if your basics are in place, then creating AI services become much easier. So let's get started without any delay. So first of all, I would like to clear up a few common terms, which you hear a lot and which people use interchangeably. And that is AI, and machine learning and deep learning. So while they are used together, they are definitely not the same. So we need to get this clarified, guys. Artificial intelligence we've discussed, right? It is a way to describe any system that can replicate tasks that previously required human intelligence. Almost always, this is related to some sort of complex decision making where human judgment would be required. Most use cases for AI would involve making predictions, classifications, or decisions with a high degree of certainty in a way that's similar to human judgment. So this is the entire field of making intelligent machines. That is AI. Next up is machine learning. Now that is a subset of AI. And like the name says, you can understand what it is from the name itself. It involves giving a computer the ability to learn and so it's able to make decisions by itself. And this is definitely the area we will spend the majority of our time in this course. Why is that? Very simple. Nearly all of the AI systems today are created using machine learning. AI can be created without machine learning. I'm not going to lie to you, but right now, machine learning is the primary method for creating AI systems. Similarly, you can use machine learning for things other than AI, but right now the majority of machine learning is AI related. So we'll go into great detail in this chapter about machine learning and how it works and what are its different types. Lastly is deep learning. Now, deep learning is a subset of machine learning. It's basically machine learning taken to the next level. That's the easiest way to understand it. Deep learning models, they can make their own predictions completely independent of human beings. And they use neural networks. Well, what does that mean? Basically, it's inspired by how your brain works, the biological neural network, which is in human brain. It analyzes data with a logical structure similar to how human beings, they draw their conclusions. And honestly, guys, it's a very, very complex and deep subject. I won't be going into too much detail. And instead, we will be focusing the majority of it on the middle one, which is machine learning, as mentioned. So let's do a deep dive into machine learning. And I will see you in the next section. Thank you. Hi, guys. Welcome to this section, which is easily the most important section of this course, which explains in detail how machine learning works. Now, as I explained earlier, machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence. And what does it do? It enables a program or a software to learn from its experience and improve itself at a task without being explicitly programmed. Now, it sounds very strange. How do we do about it? So if you know anything about traditional programming or how computers work, how does computers work? What a computer does is you take some input and you write a program, right? And you tell the computer, okay, this is input is going to come. This is what you have to do. And it uses that program to generate an output. Okay, that's how computers have always worked pretty much. Now, when it comes to machine learning, it's slightly different. You actually give it the input and you tell it what the expected output is. And the computer itself is going to work out a program. They call it itself a model. It's going to use that to generate what the output is. So if we look at it one by one, so you give computer lots and lots of data. What it's going to do, and you give it an algorithm to understand that data. Okay, guys, this is what the data is going to be. Yeah, the machine itself will build a model, and it's going to use this to predict something which has happened yet. You haven't told it yet. Now give it more data. Now we're going to see if it's working or not, whether your model is correct or not. If the results are not correct, give it more data. You're gonna have to retrain it multiple times. Refine the data, give it more use cases until the desired output is found. So what is happening? The machine is basically learning it on its own, and the results will become more and more accurate over time as you feed the data. So let's see more diagrammatic representation of this. So it'll make it more clearer here. So machine learning, guys. So what you have training data, and yeah.
So let's take a look at this. What is happening is the machine learning process starts with inputting training data into an algorithm. Okay, what is an algorithm? First of all, algorithm is just a way for the computer to understand what data you're feeding it and make sense of it. So what is going to happen, the machine is going to take this algorithm, take this data, and it's going to build a model. Okay, well, this model is what do you call, so basically what is the model, the model is the output of your algorithm and your data. So that's what basically it's called. It's going to use this to predict something which has not happened yet. So now we have fed its data, we have it's the algorithm, they say it's created a model. Now let's see what's happened if we feed it some real data. Let's take some actual data now and feed it into the model. So what happens then? Prediction, it's going to make a prediction, and it's going to, let's see if it's correct or not. So what happened, we're going to assess the results. So let's assume the prediction is not correct. Go back. If the prediction is not as expected, then the algorithm will train multiple times until the desired output is found. What happens is this enables the machine learning algorithm continue to learn its own and produce the most optimal answer. And it will increase in accuracy over time. The more data you feed it, it's going to increase in accuracy. So in a nutshell, guys, this is what machine learning is. And if you remember what we discussed way back, we said why data is so important for AI and why the possibility to have so much data. That's why you're seeing so much AI services increasing. Well, this is one of the reasons. A machine learning model is only as good as the data you feed it, because it learns from the historical data fed into it, and it builds its prediction algorithms to predict the output for a new set of data which can come. The accuracy of the model, it would depend on the quality and the amount of input data. You give it a large amount of data, it's going to build a better model and produce more results accurately. So I hope now it takes away some of the mystery of machine learning. So let's go over to the next section and see the different types of machine learning that there are. Thank you, guys. Hi, guys. Welcome to this section in which we're going to go into the different types of machine learning that there are. So machine learning is a complex subject in itself, and that's the reason it's been divided into two main areas, which is supervised learning and unsupervised learning. So each one has a specific purpose and action, within machine learning. They produce different results and they utilize different types of data. I would say approximately 70% of machine learning is usually supervised learning, while unsupervised learning ranges from 10 to 20%. Main difference between the two usually comes in the data which is fed to them, which is either labeled data or unlabeled. So what's the difference in the data? Labeled data, it's pretty simple to understand. The input and output of when you feed it into the model, it's already understood. So you tell the machine, this is what the data is, and this is what the output you're expecting. And with unlabeled data is, it doesn't have the output or it doesn't have the input. I mean, one of the parameters is missing. So the good thing about labeled data is you tell the computer already what you're expecting, but it requires more human effort because now you have to label all the data, and that can take quite a lot of time. And in unsupervised learning, you don't have to tell it what the data is. So you can spare out all the human effort. But the problem is, of course, that it requires more complex solutions. So let's go into detail in supervised learning. So I want you to understand, supposing you're doing a task, you're doing something for the first time and you have a supervisor standing over you and it's judging whether you're doing it something correctly or incorrectly. If you do it incorrectly, he tells you, okay, you're doing this wrong, do it properly. So this is basically what supervised learning is. The explanation is there in the name itself. The machine does it under supervision. Well, what does that mean? You give it a labeled data when you're training it. And what happens is basically the data you're feeding it already comes tagged with the answer the algorithm should come up with. So a labeled data, so let's take an example. You're feeding it different types of flowers, maybe roses, daisies, daffodils. So whenever you're giving it the data, what the flower is, it's already there in the data. So what happens is when you feed it a new set of data, a new image, the model is going to compare it with the examples you already gave it and to predict what the new image is. This is basically supervised learning. Now in unsupervised learning, it's the exact opposite. The reality is clean, perfectly labeled data is not that easy to come by, or there's a lot of human effort which goes into it. So, and sometimes what the researchers are asking the questions, they don't know the answer themselves. So this is where unsupervised learning comes in, guys. In unsupervised learning, the machine learning model, it's given a set of data without clear instructions on what to do with it. So it can be a number of examples of data without the outcome or the correct answer. So what's going to happen? The model is going to pass this data itself, and it's going to find patterns. It's going to find structures in the data by extracting features. I'll show you in detail. Let's have a graphical flow like we did before to get a better idea. But before we go ahead, guys, like I told you, 70% is usually supervised learning, and I would say 10 to 20% is unsupervised learning. There was another one also, which is called reinforcement learning.
which is not used that much often, but I do want to discuss with you in case you hear about it. Reinforcement learning is more about trial and error. So basically, it's a way in like you might play a video game, First time you play a video game, you're in a level, you don't know what to do, right? You're fumbling around, you're doing this, doing that, trial and error. You make mistakes and you understand the rules. This is basically what reinforcement learning is. It keeps on doing stuff, making mistakes and understanding what's happening, and it refines itself. This technique is usually used for training robots. It makes a series of decision tasks, like when it's doing an autonomous vehicles, like they're driving by itself, or managing an inventory. So this is basically where reinforcement learning comes in. But we won't go into too much detail because we'll focus on supervised and unsupervised. So now that we understand these two main models which are used, let's see a graphical representation of them to get a better idea. So firstly, supervised machine learning. So in supervised learning, like I told you, we use known or labeled data. And since the data is known, the learning is therefore supervised, right? It's you know what the output is. I'll give you the simple example. So supposing you have a child with you, right? You show him a picture of a dog and you say, this is a dog. And you show him a picture of a cat and you would point out, hey, it's a cat. Now you show him enough pictures. When you show him a new picture, now he's going to know, he's going to recognize it. He's going to learn to differentiate between them, because what has happened, you have trained him and he's able to recognize different breeds of dogs, because even if he hasn't seen them, because he knows what the basic features of a dog is. Okay, I hope you understand. So let's see. So now you're feeding a number of pictures. Now you have this data, right? You've put it a label of a dog and you feed it into the machine learning model, and the algorithm trains what it does. Now you have a supervised learning model. So now you have this data. Let's feed it some unknown data. So you're going to feed a picture of a new dog, something which haven't been labeled before. What goes? It's going to pick a picture. Yes, it's a dog. So you understand, it's pretty simple. That's what supervised learning is, guys. If you train the model enough, it understands what data is going to come into it. So, and now let's look at unsupervised learning. Now, like we said earlier, the unsupervised learning, the data is not labeled. It's not known. No, you give the model absolutely no help with what the data is going to come, no supervision at all. So you feed some data to it, like here's an example, cats and dogs and pictures, but you don't tell it. You don't tell the model what it is. So this data is going to be fed into the machine learning algorithm, and it's going to be used to train the model. So what do you think the model is going to do? It's going to search for patterns. It's going to see, okay, man, the cats and dogs look different. They have different attributes. It's going to parse the data and it's going to classify it. These two animals look similar to each other, but it's going to look at the differences between them. So the algorithm is basically learning by itself, and it discovers a pattern or a structure. And since it's working with unlabeled data, it has to find out by itself what are the common features and separate them. So yeah, it's going to separate the cat separately, and it's going to separate the dog separately. So you understand what the advantage of unsupervised machine learning is. It has the ability to work with unlabeled data. So human effort is not required in labeling all this, making all the data before readable. And it allows for much larger data sets to be worked into, because you can skip all the human labor. But what the thing is, it becomes much more complex. So I hope you understood now how a supervised and unsupervised machine learning works in. So I'm going to move on to the next section, in which the demo is one of these algorithms, because sometimes people do ask how these algorithms work. So I'll see you in the next section, guys. Thank you. I hope now you've understood how these different models work. Hi, guys. Welcome to this completely optional section. It's up to you. You can skip it if you wanted. So this is basically about, because a lot of people do ask me sometimes about these machine learning algorithms, how do they work? Like, what's the mechanics behind some of these algorithms? So people, if you want to know the details of this, I've chosen one simple machine learning algorithm. It is one of the easiest and simplest to implement, which is a machine learning algorithm, which is called the K nearest neighbor, KNN algorithm for short. It's a supervised machine learning algorithm. And what it does, it's based on the simple principle that similar things exist in close proximity. I mean, you are whoever your neighbors are, you're basically like that. That's like, it's in the name also, the nearest neighbor. It's very uncomplicated and it's easy to understand. So what happens is it groups the existing data, and what it does, when you give it new data, it puts the data into the same category where the similar things are. And based on that, it makes a prediction. Okay, guys, this thing is probably that. So let's take an example on what this diagram is. Supposing you have an image of a creature like that, that's a cat or a dog, right? So what happens is you fed the model the data about cats and dogs based on their height and weight. So it has grouped the cats are usually this height and this weight, and dogs are this height and this weight. So assume I'm going to put a new picture there of a cat and a dog, and I won't tell the model whether it's a cat or a dog. I'll only tell him its height and weight. So what's going to happen? It's going to group it, and it's going to check what its nearest neighbors are. Are they cats or are they dogs? And based on that, it's going to make a prediction. So let's take a look. So I feed it a new picture, and I don't tell it what it is, right? What the algorithm is going to do is going to check height and weight. Where does it fall into? Okay, it's near the cats. Its nearest neighbors are cats, so it's pretty much it's a safe bet to say it's a cat. Either one, I feed it a picture of a dog without telling it. What's going to happen? It's going to check the height and weight. Okay, it's it's falling into the nearest neighbors, which are dogs. So based on that, it's going to say, okay, man, this is definitely a dog. Yeah. So you can understand the advantage of this model. It's very easy to understand. People do Python scripting of this. You can easily find models of this on the internet. The disadvantage of this is because it needs a lot of data, you can understand, to make predictions properly, because it's going to have to categorize its similar models, and its accuracy will increase based on the number of data it has. But the disadvantage of it becomes slower as the volume of data increases, because if you have what you call an environment where you need to make predictions quickly, KNN might not be the most optimal model algorithm for you. But supposing you have some sufficient computing resources, your computers are so powerful, it can actually handle all the data you're going to use, then it can be a very good model to use. So this, I hope you understood now some of how machine learning algorithm works. They are literally huge amount of algorithms. I won't go through all of them. I just wanted to show you that this is the back end of how usual algorithms work. Okay, guys, thank you. I'll see you in the next section. Hi, guys. So we've reached the end of this very important section about machine learning and the key concepts behind AI. I hope you understood the core concepts of AI machine learning. We took a deep dive into machine learning, and we learned different types of it, the different types of models that are supervised and unsupervised. And we also took a look at one of the algorithms, which is called the K nearest neighbor. So like I said, this was the most important section of this entire course. So the good thing about it is now theory is over. The theoretical part of this course is over. Now you have enough information, enough knowledge to start creating our own machine learning projects, which we are now about to do. So this is really exciting, guys. I'm going to see you in the next section. Thank you. Hi, guys. So welcome. I'm happy to tell you that we have finished the conceptual part. 1, 2, 3. Hi, guys. Welcome to this section. And I'm happy to tell you that we have finished the conceptual part of our course. And now we're ready to get cracking on building actual artificial intelligence-based services. So since machine learning is fresh in our mind, so I thought it'd be a good idea to let's build a supervised machine learning model for ourselves. So what are we going to do? We're going to train a machine to recognize labeled images and then present it with fresh data to check whether the model we made was successful or not, exactly like we discussed earlier. So all the theory that we discussed about, we're going to put it into action. So the good news is we don't need to do any programming, as there are already tools present which can manage the entire background complexity for us. This is something we could not have imagined possible a few years ago. So in order to do it, let's look at one of my favorite tools, which is Teachable Machine by Google. Now, Teachable Machine, what is it exactly? It's a web-based tool that makes creating machine learning models very, very fast and very easy. Anybody can do it. There is no technical barrier to overcome. It was launched in 2017. And what it does, it makes machine learning accessible to everyone. It's fast, it's easy, and it's very easy to do. You can create, machine learning models for your application sites. No expertise or coding is required. You can even export the models you create for your projects and just download it for later study. So let me just show you. The link for this is in the resources section, guys. Hi, guys. So this is Teachable Machine, the one I was telling you about. So this is where you can create models. You can create now using this. You can create models which can, let's say, you can identify images using a webcam or files. You can teach a model to identify sound samples even. My favorite is you can even teach it to classify body motions or poses, which you strike in front of your webcam. So just to show you, yeah, you can see. So this is for images, sounds, you can teach sounds, and even poses. So all of this you can do. So let's start with the first one. I mean, better we see, if you see it in action, we'll understand it much better. So let's get started, guys. And let's do an image project. Okay. So what are we going to do? We're going to basically what we say. This is the most complex machine learning. Teachable machine gets. These are when you say class 1, class 2. These are the type of data we're going to be feeding it. So let's do one thing. Let's create a machine learning model to identify different types of fruits. So we're going to train it with some live data and then see how it does, how well it can identify different types of images which you present to it. And what do you call this? So this is all you need to do it. So let's do one thing. Let's get started, guys. Let's create like first class. It's called Apple. Sorry. Apple. Okay. Second class, let's make it banana. Okay, let's add one more, guys. That would be, I think, oranges. Okay.
Okay, so now that we've created these three different classes, what we need to do is we need to give it some data. So how we need to feed it some images so it can actually understand so when we present it with live data. So let's do one thing. Let me turn on the webcam and present it with some images. Okay, guys. So this is me. I'm going to hold up an apple and train it as much as possible. So you see this? This is actually gathering all the data. It's seeing the apple. I'm going to present it from all as much as possible. I'm going to give it as much data as possible. So it recognizes. So we have around 235 images. I think that should be enough. Okay. That's it for the apple. Okay. Same thing now for the banana, guys. Okay. So let's hold it. This is just I'm trying to give it as much data as possible. Okay. It's building up all this image library. Okay. I think around, yeah, it's around pretty much the same which we did for that one. Okay. One more. This is the orange. Okay, guys, let's record it. Let it keep all the data. I'm going to try to rotate it as much as possible. So it has as much as data to build with, right? Okay, do that. That's pretty much, I think, as much as we have. Okay, so now we fed it data like we did, like we learned in supervised machine learning. We fed it actual data. Now we need to train the model. So let's click on this. Yeah. So now what is it doing? It's going to start building its supervised machine learning model based on the algorithm and based on the data we fed it. Do not, guys, very important thing, do not scroll away from this page because then it stops. So it's running it by the, yeah, exactly. This is what I was referring to. So now what's it doing? It's turning on its supervised machine learning algorithm and it's training the model for recognizing live data when it happens. So it's almost done now. Okay, wow. So it's ready now to be accepting data. Oh, sorry. So you don't worry about that. So you see this, it's showing the confidence level. So the orange, don't worry because it's some, let me put up my hand up. Ah, you see this? No, it's not understanding what the hand is. It's saying it's an apple. That's pretty funny because we haven't fed it that much data. Let's fed it some actual data and see what happens. Okay. Ah, okay. Orange, though, it's okay. 100%. Let's see an apple. Will it still say it's orange? Ah, you see this. So 100% it's saying this is an apple. You see, it's not confusing it. Okay. If I move it away, what happens? I think it's the, so if you see if I'm moving my hand, if anything happen, my hand is different. Yeah, it's thinking it's apple. That's funny. So, okay. Ah, you see the banana. 100% it's saying it's banana. So you see, it is recognizing. There's still some kinks to sort out through. You can see it's looking at the background for some reason, thinking it's an orange because some of the data it captured. We haven't refined it fully, but you see how easy it is now. If I put an apple, boom, it's saying it's an apple. If I'm putting it a banana, 100% it's saying it's a banana. So you see, it has built upon the data. So that was pretty exciting, guys. So now you have created a model. What can we do with it, guys? So this just to show you, if you go to the export model, you can actually now export this model. If you click on upload my model, what happens is it actually gives you a live link. It's, yeah, see this link you can use. It will host this link for free. Or if you want to like download it, you can actually download a zip file with all the coding done. So you see how much heavy lifting Google has done for you behind the scene, guys. So this is, I just wanted to show you how easy it is now to create machine learning models. And you saw an actual application of the theory we learned in the previous course. Of course, there's a lot of polishing we can do with this model. My goal was just to show you how easy it is. So I have an assignment for you guys. I want you to go and do an audio or a post project and play with this amazing service for yourself. You won't believe people have built some amazing tools using Teachable Machine. And I really want you to experience it for yourself. Instead of just watching me do it for yourself. So once you've done with it and you've played around with it, I will see you in the next section. Thank you. Hi, guys. Welcome to this section. Now, I hope you enjoyed the last lesson where we created a very first machine learning model. So now we are ready to try some new AI services, but this time not with Google, but with Amazon. Now, Amazon offers some of the most amazing machine learning services around, absolutely free of cost. Like Google, they want to make machine learning accessible to everyone. So before we get started, one thing I need you to do is you to create a free AWS free tier account if you don't have if you don't already have one. It's very easy to do. Just go to the resources section and I put the link there. Just go there and please fill out the form and you'll have it. If you haven't done it, just please go there and do that first. What is the AWS free tier? It basically gives customers the ability to explore and try out a lot of AWS services completely free of charge, up to specified limits for each services. Now, details on those limits and services are provided on those basically against each service on the free tier page. If your application use exceeds the free tier limits, you will simply place standard pay-as-you-go service charges, which are present for each services. But the good news is we won't be exceeding them. We won't be using those services that much. So if you haven't done already, please go ahead and create your free tier service. Guys, on this page, you can see this is what I was referring to, amazon.com/free/machine learning. This link is there in the resources section. These are the free machine learning services which you can do on AWS on the free tier. So it's amazing. You have text to speech, speech to text, machine learning, translation. We're going to be taking 3 of the most prominent services and using them. So you can see we have Amazon Poly, which basically converts text to speech. Okay, whatever text you give it, it's going to actually make it lifelike text. Okay, like what do you call, if you have like some page or blog, you can actually point Amazon Poly to it. It's going to convert into like a completely make it audio. And Amazon Transcribe, which is opposite, which is speech to text. Okay, you can understand it. So it actually takes speech and it makes text. So you have a video, it can completely transcribe and write it down. SageMaker is actually machine learning models, but this is completely managed service, so you don't have to do any of the complexity. It handles it completely backend. Amazon Lex is chatbots, you know. So you can actually create your own chatbots, which you see on websites, which talk to you in natural language and understand what you want. Automate image and video analysis, comprehend. So lots of them are there. We're going to be taking 3 of these most prominent services, which is Amazon Poly, text to speech, Amazon Transcribe, which is speech to text, and Amazon Lex, conversational AI for chatbots. And we're going to try and make 3 of these services. So this is pretty exciting. Let's go ahead into the next section, start building it. Thank you. Hi, guys. Okay. So the first service I want you guys to take a look at is Amazon AWS Transcribe. So what is AWS Transcribe? In one sentence, it is speech to text. What it does is basically uses deep learning, which if you recall from earlier, it's like a subset of machine learning. What it does, it converts speech to text with a process called automatic speech recognition. So what it does, it opens up a lot of exciting possibilities if you're a developer. I mean, you can add some very powerful functionality to your applications, like, you know, video subtitles. If you have an e-learning application, you can add video subtitles to it, or you can transcribe call center voice recordings. So you can search them like you search any text, or you can automate taking minutes of meetings, you know. I mean, the possibilities are quite amazing. So AWS Transcribe is driven by the AWS machine learning platform. So what does that mean? It actually gets smarter over time. As it learns and learns, it gets smarter over time. So let's do this in action, actually. So I hope you've created your AWS free tier account by now, as I want you guys to do it yourself. Instead of just watching me doing stuff, the best way to do something is to do it yourself. So this is a small video clip, guys, I've taken. This, you will find this as an MP3 file in the resources section also. So I'm going to transcribe this only. So let's listen to around 50-20 seconds of it.
What is AI? Let's start with a question. What do you think the most complex object in the universe is? Try and think of it. I guarantee you the answer is in your head, literally. That's because it's the human brain. Even the most complex networks, the most powerful systems cannot match it. Changing that is the ultimate goal of artificial intelligence. It is not about...
Okay, so that was quite interesting, guys. I mean, this is from a small media clip from BBC on artificial intelligence. So like I told you, this is there in the resources section also. This is quite interesting. You can listen to the whole MP3 clip if you want to. Now, I want you to have this, I want to convert this video into a text as a use case. So let's do this using AWS Transcribe, guys. Hi, guys. So this is the AWS console. So let's go to Transcribe, okay? Oh, sorry. AWS Transcribe. Let's open this, guys. Okay, so there are multiple ways of doing it. I mean, if you want, there's something called real-time transcription. So we can actually, as you're speaking into the microphone, it can transcribe it. But I don't want to do it through that. Let's do it using a transcription job. So we want to transcribe that MP3 file we just listened to. So in order to do that, first you need to put it into an S3 bucket. I mean, if you don't know what S3 is, it's like a folder in AWS. It's like Dropbox or OneDrive if you used that before. You have to create that folder and upload that MP3 file there. So I've already done it, but just to show you guys, if you don't know, go to S3. So I already have a bucket called S3 demo, Udemy demo AI, and I've put there, you can see the MP3 file already there.
So if you, all you have to do is go here, create a bucket, give a name for your bucket. It has to be unique, guys, just to let you know. And you can pretty much keep all the default, what you call, options that are there, and just upload that MP3 file there. So, okay, so we have an S3 bucket and we've put the file there. So let's go back to AWS Transcribe. Okay, so let's create a job in order to transcribe it. So let's call it AWS Transcribe demo. Okay. So we can use all the default options, guys. This is for basically specific language, English. So this is, yeah, this is where it's asking where the file is. So let's browse S3. Yeah, let's choose this one. Yeah, this is the file we want to transcribe. Choose. Okay. So yeah, let's go next. Here's some other options. You can content removal. Basically, we don't need to get into this. It can basically, let's keep all the default options. Okay, so now you can see our transcribe demo is running. So that clip is around like a few minutes, I think. So it can take around 15 to 30 seconds for it to transcribe. So yeah, what we're gonna do is once the, what do you call, transcribe job is run, let's see it in action and see how accurate it was. I mean, did it transcribe the first 30 seconds which we listened to? And were there any mistakes? Well, let's see how much the, what do you call, how accurate it was. Let's refresh it and see if it's finished or not. Okay, it's in progress, guys. Sometimes it takes a few minutes. Let's wait. Okay, guys, so it's completed. Okay, so let's click on it and see what happened. Let's go down. Here it is. Okay. Okay, so this is actually, this is where the transcription happened, guys. So let's see, let's take a look at, so now we have the output in front of us. And if you remember what the video was, so what is AI? It's a sentence, but it put a space between AI. Let's start with the question. You can see, so it's surprisingly accurate, right down to the pauses in the sentences. I would recommend reading this and then listening to the MP3 side by side, and then comparing the two to get a feel for it, how accurate it was. So in the real world, of course, you would schedule these jobs to run based on specific events or time periods, or you would invoke APIs from other services. I would recommend you guys play with it, put some other files there, understand how it works, and let me know. So I hope you got a good feel for how it works and how accurate it is. Like I told you, it opens up a lot of possibilities. I mean, you can transcribe call centers. You know, people want to search their call center recordings, or they want to automate taking minutes of meetings. All those you can do. So it's a very powerful tool, and you can see just how easy it is. So I hope this was useful for you guys. I'll see you in the next demo. Thank you. Hi guys, welcome to the second demo of AWS machine learning. So this time we are going to look at another service which is called Amazon Poly, which is just the exact opposite of AWS Transcribe. So instead of speech to text, we will be doing text into lifelike speech. So what does Poly do? Poly uses machine learning to synthesize speech. This sounds very natural, and you can make applications that basically talk. When using plain text at Poly, the punctuation in a text, you know, like if you have what do you call, commas or full stops, that's actually used for cues, for pauses and breaks. The use cases, I mean, for this are too many to mention. I mean, if you made a website or a blog, you can basically have Poly provide audio delivery to your visitors. Or if you have an e-learning app, you can convert the written course material into a completely audio-driven course. Or maybe you're a bank, right? You can have Poly power your interactive voice response. So when the customer requests the account balance, Poly can receive the details and automatically play it back to your customer with zero human interaction. Okay, guys, so here we are. So unlike Transcribe, we don't need to have an S3 bucket or something. It's pretty straightforward with Poly, because my intent is just to show you how it works. So let's go to here, Amazon Poly. Here we go. Okay. So as you can see, like I said, it's very, very straightforward here. You can just put things here, and what do you call, it'll play it back. So this is, my name is John, and I'll be in text. Okay, let's see this.
Hi, my name is Joanna. I will read any text you type here.
Okay, that was pretty nice. And you can see you can actually change this from male to female and all that. So okay, let's.
Hi, I'm Matthew. I will read any text you type here.
Okay, so let's put our text here.
Hi everyone. This is a demo of Amazon Poly for your Udemy course. Poly is converting this text to speech based on the parameters you have set to show you how Amazon AI services work. You can use this to create interactive voice response for call centers and other applications based on your use case. Or you can use Amazon Poly to create audio files from blogs or websites. Hope this was useful. Bye.
Okay, let's check it through female voice. That's Kendra. Okay.
Hi everyone. This is a demo of Amazon Poly for your Udemy course. Poly is converting this text to speech based on the parameters you have set to show you how Amazon AI services work. You can use this to create interactive voice response for call centers and other applications based on your use case. Or you can use Amazon Poly to create audio files from blogs or websites. Hope this was useful. Bye.
Okay, you see, so you can check how accurate it was, right? And even that you can put lexicons. What are lexicons? Maybe in some pronunciations, some words are pronounced differently, or some words are there which are not pronounced the way you want to. You have slang and vocabulary. You can actually upload those here, and it'll read it and it'll change those words to how you want it to be pronounced. So it's pretty straightforward, guys. It's much more simpler than transcribe. It's straightforward. I want you to play with it, check it out, and see how it works. Okay, thank you. Hi guys, welcome to our last demo of Amazon machine learning services. So we're going to be doing a demo of Amazon Lex this time, which is a bit more complex than the last two. So far we've done text to speech and speech to text. So let's make something more dynamic this time, which brings a lot of this stuff together. So I'm absolutely 100% sure you must have interacted with chatbots at one time or another when you visit a website. What is a chatbot? It's basically a machine learning program that stimulates a conversation you might have on the phone or over the counter with a person, but it's not a person you're interacting with, it's a machine. So Amazon Lex, it uses machine learning, which recognizes speech or text, and it can take actions. It can fulfill orders based on what the customer has spoken or written. It's the same technology which powers Amazon Alexa also. And you can build extremely powerful chatbots for your websites with minimum technical skills. So let's actually go over to the Amazon console and start working on it. And I will see you there. Okay, guys, so now we're here on the console. Let's go to Amazon Lex. Okay, here we go. So Amazon Lex. Okay, so this is not in the region. So sometimes the services which you're looking at, it's not in the regions. So I'm currently in US East Ohio. Let's go to London. Okay. So this is Amazon Lex. Let's get started. Okay. So you might see a few things here which it might seem confusing initially, but I'll explain. So let's assume we want to create a chatbot to order burgers, right? So what is an intent? Intent is basically what you want to do. I want to order burgers. I want to book a flight, or book a trip. Okay. That's what the intent is. Utterance is what the user says or types. Like I want to order a burger. I want to book a hotel. I want to book a flight. Okay. Slots are basically the parameters that you give. Okay, okay, where do you live? What type of burger? What time? Those sort of things. Fulfillment happens at the end. This is what, after everything has been done, it places the order. Okay, so this is basically, it's just different names for stuff, but it's pretty much the same thing. So, Amazon has already predefined a lot of those sample bots. So you don't have to actually do anything. You can just choose something predefined. But I want to do it ourselves. So let's do it ourselves. Let's create a bot which is gonna take an order for burgers for a restaurant. Okay, order burgers. So that's the name of our bot. Let's take English, UK. Okay, choose the output voice. You can choose Amy.
Hello, my name is Amy.
Okay, nice. That's the session timeout, after which if the user doesn't, no response, it'll reset it. So these are all the default options. COPPA is basically if you're taking some sensitive information about minors and all that. So no, it's not. Confidence threshold is, we'll get into it. It's basically intent. How much intelligence is used to discern what the user is saying with regards to the intent. Like it's basically how much, confidence it will take it. The user is the user saying, is it close to what we think he's saying? Basically the intelligence which it uses. Okay, so what is left now? So that's 0.4. Okay, what is left now? I think we've put everything here. Oh, session timeout. Okay, 5 minutes. Yeah, sorry, I forgot to put the session timer. Okay, let's go ahead and create it. Okay, So like I said, first thing is the creating the intent, right? We've created this bot. What do you want to do? Like I said, we want to order burgers. I've already explained this to you. So let's do it. Create intent. Yeah, I want to create an intent. So order, pretty much the same name of the bot, order burger. Add. Okay. So, okay, here you want to put what the user, what you think the user will type here, okay, in order to initiate the bot. So order burger. That's, you're thinking what the user might write, or burger, or I want a burger. Okay. Yeah, you can keep adding it as much as you want, basically. Okay. Okay. And now the slots are what's the information you're gonna be taking from the user actually. So let's think about it, guys. What do you want? So if the guy says I want a burger, first thing, what are you gonna ask him? You're gonna ask him what type of burger. Okay. That's what you're gonna ask him, right? That's what the bot is gonna ask. So that this is basically what the data type is. So we're gonna just take alphanumeric. It has a lot of predefined Amazon. You can say email, phone number, time, date. It's pretty. It's very good in this regard, no? Okay. What type of burger? Sorry. This should be burger type. We can type. Yeah. What type of burger? This was actually the name of the slot, not the prompt. This is the prompt. Okay. So okay, after you've taken the type of burger, we can ask, yeah, the location, right? You want to know where the guy is. So let's take, yeah, the city. Okay. Where do you live? That's what he's gonna ask. Okay. Okay. Let's add one more thing. Okay, you've had the type. Now what time? Delivery time. So I think Amazon already has a date. Yeah, date or duration, right? Yeah, time. Okay. What time do you want it delivered? Yeah, I think this is like just for a simple order. I think this is more than enough. You don't need to get too technical about it. Now, all of these are required, right? I see only one is checked. No, we want all of them. Yeah, the first term will be what type of burger. The second one will be the priority. If you look at the priority, this is the sequence in which it will ask the questions. First priority is the type of burger. Second is the location. Third is the time. Okay. Confirmation prompt. This is basically, yeah, are you sure you want to order? So you basically say, are you sure you want to place the order? Yeah, cancel if the user says no. Yeah. Okay, now fulfillment is basically once you've taken everything, like I told you, placing the order. Now we're not going to be invoking any business logic, obviously. We're just going to say return the parameters back to the user, but let's not just return some generic message. Let's add it here. Okay, so what you can say, thank you. Your order for, let's see. When you pick in brackets, now this is basically what you're taking from the slot here. You want to populate it dynamically. Slot. For your order for slot has been placed. It will be delivered to location at delivery time. Yeah. Okay. So I think this is more than enough, guys, honestly speaking. Let's see. Let's hope I haven't goofed up somewhere. So let's build this bot and see how it happens. Yeah, let's build the bot. Okay, let's see. Oops. The value for reject statements, reject statement dot message invalid. Okay, let's see what happened, guys. I think this is the one. Okay, your order has been cancelled. I think this is, I think I forgot to put the, what do you call, if the user cancels the order, there was no statement there. Let's build it again. Okay, it's building now. So sometimes so what it's happening, it's like if you've built any program or a computer program, it's basically compiling the bot. Okay, everything we've put in there, it's basically building it in the back end and creating the bot ready. Okay, it's ready now. Okay, so now you can actually at the right screen, you can see this is what you call the bot is now ready for us to interact with. It's completing the build. Let the build complete, and then we can actually test the conversations with it. Let's see. So we should be able to place an order for a burger and get it reflected back to the customer if we've configured it properly. Okay, so it's now ready, guys. Let's see it. Okay, let's see. Let's put, I want a burger. Okay, what type of burger? Chicken. You can see now, you can see in the slots below, it's checking what I want to say. Okay, where do you live? I live in Dubai. What time you want it delivered? 10 p.m. Yes, this is the confirmation thing we put in, yes. But yes, okay, so this happened, but it didn't show the confirmation message which we put in, interestingly enough. Let's see what happened. Response. I think I didn't save this, unfortunately. Oh, my mistake, guys. I forgot to save this because this is a very generic message. We want this, no? Okay, thank you. Your order for, let's just put a type, has been placed. Okay. Okay, yeah, because we want this message to be shown. Okay, let's preview it. Yeah, thank you for order for type has been placed. Yeah, it should be like this. I think it's case sensitive also. Let's do it. Does it change? Okay. Let's click the preview. So now we want our response, the custom response to be to be shown, not this generic one. Although it was worked out fine, I don't want this. I want it to be like customized for the user because it's not very user friendly. So I build it. Anytime you make a change, guys, you have to build it again just to let you know. Let's save our intent. I think I didn't save it last time also. Okay, so let's build it again. Okay, so it's building it again basically. Then we can check it. We can check why the response didn't come. It takes a bit of time because it's compiling the bot from scratch again. It basically checks all the parameters we know. So, okay, let's wait for a little while. Just checking if I missed anything. Okay. But it just order. Okay. This time veg. Where do you live? Okay, I live in London. 10 p.m. Yes, okay, good. Now we can see the custom response came, not the generic one, which we didn't want. So this is it, guys. You've created your own bot and it's very, very powerful now. You can customize it as much as you want. Of course, the real power will come once you integrate it with some business logic. So it should take this order and basically take all these parameters and place it, link it to your restaurant system, and so the order comes directly. But now you can see you've created your own bot. You must have interacted with it quite a bit. So, and if you see this, you can put it on Facebook, you can put it on Slack. These two I haven't used, but it's and you can monitor those bots also, how many requests have come in, if there's any issue. So this is the powerful, so it's using all the natural language processing to basically interact with the users. And if you put sometimes like you can really check, I want you to check how the bot interacts with you. If you just put something like confusing, if I just put something I haven't put in. Yeah, can you see that? So it's saying, sorry, can you please repeat that? Let's clear this again. Let's put something I'm not, it's actually going to check the context of what I'm writing. Okay, hungry. Yeah, you see, it's actually now, I didn't put one of these utterances. I put something else, but it understood. So this is very powerful. I want you guys to take a look at it and understand how it works and create your own bots. So this is a much more complex demo than we used before. So I hope you enjoyed it, guys. And I hope it takes away some of the confusion which happens before with regards to bots. So now I want you to create your own custom bot. Let me know. Thank you. Hi guys, so now we finally reached the end of this course and this is our final section. I hope you enjoyed this journey and you've gained like a thorough understanding of the basics of artificial intelligence and machine learning. So now the million-dollar question is, what now? Where do you guys go from here and build on what we have learned in this course? So if you want to pursue a career in AI, well, the good news is that you have chosen a profession which is in huge demand. Even with the pandemic destroying millions of jobs, you have big giants investing heavily in AI. You have governments investing, you have startups investing. It is expected by 2030 that 1/3 of work in the US will be replaced by automation and robots. So, I mean, this is just like something I took from LinkedIn. I mean, the number one most in demand job was artificial intelligence specialist. Like it had like a 74% annual growth, which is absolutely amazing. So again, some job trend analysis. Gartner, like I said, or not even 2030, which I said, like 2024, like three-fourths of enterprise will operationalize AI. So the good news is, if you want to pursue a career in AI, the good news is you've chosen a profession which is in huge demand. Okay. And in the resources section, I've put in a link to a recent study by the UK government on how to grow the artificial intelligence industry in the UK. And it's not just the UK, this is happening pretty much on a global scale, from Europe to the Middle East. Additionally, just now, the European Union has put forth a proposal for regulating AI, which is the first ever legal framework on AI, which addresses the risks of AI. So believe me when I say AI is not going anywhere, guys. Okay, that's the good news. Well, okay, what's the bad news? Well, the bad news, I don't know if you can call it bad news, but just something you have to keep in mind. It is a very technical field, and you will need to dig deep into some technical subjects like programming and data science if you want to create your own machine learning models. And honestly, if you want to do anything of worth in AI, that's the nature of the beast, that is AI, and there's no way to escape from it. Whether you want to become an AI engineer or a data scientist, like I put in from my experience, what sort of skills you need to pursue a serious career in AI. There are numerous postgraduate, bachelor's, and master level programs available from accredited universities and institutions, which can take you from scratch, and you can really build upon the skills. So if you are interested in skills, and that's great. You know, a lot of these programs are not available while ago. You had to really, it was some really specialized programs with it. Now it's become much more common. So it's much more easier to pursue a proper career. Now I mentioned programming language. So that's a question I get asked a lot. Say if I do, okay, I do want to pursue AI and I want to pick up a programming language, then which one should I focus on? Well, there are numerous options available for artificial intelligence, but my recommendation is almost always Python. There's a reason it's the most popular coding language for machine learning. There's a reason. The reason for that is it's filled with pre-existing libraries. So already a lot of work has been done and can help you get a running start. And it's very simple to understand. Python has always been popular, I'll be honest, but with AI and machine learning, it really took off. It's definitely the leader right now. Another one is Lisp. It's an option, but although most of it, honestly, it's not present in Python. It's not as user-friendly as Python. It's also does not have the rich number of libraries which Python has. Java is also quite popular, and it's a strong contender against Python. It's also well used and user-friendly. I think anybody who's worked in a large organization has experience with Java. And okay, last one, if you are a number cruncher, then R, which is an emerging language, it might be for you. It became very popular recently because it's good for statistical analysis. And it's even better than Python when it comes to number crunching. It has very powerful support for data mining and advanced data analysis. There are other languages also like C++, Prolog, and I mean, I can go on and on about it. But if you honestly want my opinion, guys, then you really cannot go wrong with Python. And there is a good reason it is the number one choice for AI professionals. And there are numerous courses available. You can take it up and you can get a very good, solid foundation for starting a career in AI. Okay, that was just, guys, this is just to help you get a running start on AI and starting your AI career, what to do. So I think we have reached the conclusion now. I'll see you there, guys. Thank you. So guys, we've come to the end now. So just to recap, we've understood what skills are needed if you want to do a more deep dive into AI. And I showed you what programming languages are available to specialize in for machine learning. And now I hope you had fun going through this course. I will find this over time based on feedback. So please do provide me the same, whether it's negative or positive. Now, my parting words to you is that AI is going to be a hot field for the next decade or so, guys. And if you are future-proofing yourself and your career by choosing this profession, so regardless of which field you are in, do understand its concepts and how it works. AI is going to create millions and millions of jobs, but due to automation and machine learning, a lot of jobs are going to go away, guys, which is a scary thought, but it's the reality of the world. So please invest in yourself if you're serious about this field. So guys, thank you so much for trusting me for delivering you this information. I will keep adding more courses, so let me know if you have any suggestions. For any queries, you can contact me over email or LinkedIn. Have a great career learning AI, and I will see you again definitely. Thank you, guys.